Marina Bay Sands is a large resort consisting of a hotel, convention center, shopping mall, dining, theater, and casino. It is located in Singapore and is a well-recognized infrastructure defining the new downtown skyline. It was designed by Canadian architect Moshe Safdie and built by Las Vegas Sands Corporation, or LVS. The project took 5 years to construct and it was 2 years late. It was initially opened to the public on April 2010. It is owned and funded by the Singaporean government. However, the CEO of LVS contributed $1 billion towards the project. The purpose of the project was to build an entertainment destination that would distinguish Singapore apart from other cities. The Marina Bay Sands was built near downtown but would eventually be known as the new downtown of Singapore. Overall, this project has many benefits, such as the main tourist destination, which brought Singapore's GDP up 0.8% upon opening and fulfilled their vision of distinguishing Singapore apart. The project is a strategic fit for the Singaporean government as they want to be seen as a world-class nation and a popular tourist destination. Two main issues occurred while in the process of constructing the Marina Bay Sands. The first problem was the complex building design. Because they were building from scratch, there was a need to clear the water and remove the clay in order to create a foundation for the hotel. This delayed them a year that they had not anticipated. The second problem that they faced were the high winds. Because the hotel was designed at a high altitude, the building would move as much as 9.8 inches from the center. Thus, they needed extensive wind testing to ensure the building was safe and had to hire wind engineers. The priority of the project was ultimately the performance of it, as Marina Bay Sands is an ambitious resort with massive infrastructures that would hold thousands of people. Safety and publicity would be a huge concern, due to the vast amount of media and press coverage around such an iconic project. The timeline is a main focus on the project and, if possible, should be enhanced. The cost was accepted as they were willing to pay employees more to work overtime in order to have the casino specifically completed on time, as they had forecasted that the casino would generate $1 billion a year, thus breaking even in 5 years. They were not concerned with the cost. Within the stakeholder analysis of Marina Bay Sands, we identified two main groups: internal and external stakeholders. Within the internal stakeholders, we would consult the Singaporean government, as they are the owners of the project and the project is being built to their specifications, as they even changed the existing gambling laws in Singapore to build this casino. In addition to the Singaporean government, we would consult the common shareholders, as they hold a large share in the company and have voting power. However, we would inform the preferred shareholders, as they do not have as much power as the common shareholders. With the external stakeholders, we would consult the Singaporean citizens, as their input is valuable so that the resort/casino is not rejected or despised by the local population. The citizens are also very concerned with the sustainability of the location, as Singapore is known to be one of the cleanliest cities in the world. The impact of the building on the surrounding area was one of the citizens' concerns, specifically the effect on local businesses. The top 3 unexpected events that posed the biggest risk or caused the biggest delays were the risk of bankruptcy for LVS, bankruptcy of contractors, and labor shortage. As the failure mode and effect analysis shows, the unexpected event with the highest RPN was the possible bankruptcy of LVS. In 2008, the global financial crisis had an effect on the businesses and were reportedly close to bankruptcy a number of times. For a contingency plan, in the event that they did go bankrupt, they could go into liquidation or reorganize. However, this meant that they would not be able to finish the project, which is why the severity for this risk is so high and why their mitigation is so important. For the mitigation plan, LVS did well in ensuring that they did not go bankrupt. Some of the things they did included having the CEO personally fly to Singapore to reaffirm the government of their commitment, as well as they suspended work on other projects so they could concentrate their resources on Marina Bay Sands. And finally, they raised $3.2 billion through stock offerings, with the CEO putting in more than $1 billion of his own dollars. The financial crisis also hit subcontractors, and a number of them did go bankrupt. As a mitigation plan, LVS could have clearly defined their rights in the contracts that would state when they can back out of the contract. To do this, they would need to monitor the subcontractors regularly to see if their contractors are nearing bankruptcy. For a contingency plan, LVS should have a list of backup subcontractors that they can work with. Labor shortages. To mitigate this, LVS could use possible government agencies or employment agencies to help them plan the supply of labor and bring in workers from other places in time for when they are needed. As a contingency plan, LVS can have existing employees work overtime while they try to fill the shortage. Marina Bay Sands was estimated to cost 5.05 billion Singapore dollars, but ended up costing 8 billion Singapore dollars, which was 58.4% over budget. In terms of the schedule, May 2006 was when the Las Vegas Sands Corp won the bid and construction began shortly after. The original schedule was to be done in 2009 and have a single phase opening. However, Marina Bay Sands ended up opening in 3 different stages. The first soft opening was in April 2010, where the casino and some hotel rooms were open. The official opening was in June 2010, where the Sky Park Event Plaza and the rest of the hotel was open. The grand opening was in February 2011, where they finally opened the Art Science Museum. Based on the grand opening, they were 2 years late. The quality of the Marina Bay Sands is excellent. Their Sky Park is the world's longest elevated swimming pool at 146 meters long. Their theaters can hold 1,500 to 2,100 people. Their shops have over 300 stores, and there are many 5-star restaurants. They also have 4 movement joints located underneath the Sky Park pool that have a total range of motion of 500 millimeters to withstand the natural sway and movement of the tower due to the high winds at that altitude. Marina Bay Sands did a good job in satisfying their stakeholders. They had a good environmental impact as they use automated heating, lighting, and water. They are also ISO 20121 certified, which ensures that they have sustainable event management. In terms of the social impact, they directly employed 10,000 people, as well as indirectly providing an additional 20,000 jobs in other industries. They have also been bringing in a lot of money for the government of Singapore, as in 2014, Marina Bay Sands' net revenue was $3.2 billion at a 53.6% margin. With an annual profit of $1.71 billion, they would have been able to break even on their investment just under 5 years. Overall, although they were behind schedule and over budget, this was largely due to the causes of the 2008 financial crisis. Increases in material costs and labor shortages made it very difficult to stay on par with their original plans. Stakeholders were satisfied, and in terms of quality, Marina Bay Sands was able to achieve their objective in becoming the face of Singapore tourism. Therefore, the Marina Bay Sands should be considered a very successful project. Some strengths of this project included the mitigation plans described in the risk management. This helped to prevent the project from bankruptcy during a time of global financial crisis, when many subcontractors went bankrupt, labor shortages occurred, and many other projects had been delayed. The exploited transactional leadership over the engineering team resulted in a quick response of devising a plan to hold up the curved tower from buckling under its own weight by incorporating tension cables and struts. The project management arranged close and intensive relationships between the engineering, construction management, and design teams on site, such that coordinated solutions could be quickly negotiated as they arose. There was also a good communication relationship with the external feng shui consultants for any architectural and major design changes. Some weaknesses of the project included an original partner pulling out just before the construction phase. This resulted in a loss of a 15% equity stake in the project and was due to management having difficulties in getting many of their subsidiaries to comply to the project in time, as well as not fully aligning the project goals with the corporate goals of associated parties, who were reluctant to disclose certain private information in integrity checks required by the Singaporean government. There were serious problems with the instability of the building site. Flooding was a risk that would result in a high severity. Because of this, project management implemented a lengthy process of securing the building site against water, which took longer than expected at 33% of the project's total completion time. What we recommend for future similar projects is firstly, the project management should get full support of top management early. This will communicate objectives to stay on schedule. Second, fully align the project goals and corporate goals. This contributes to a buy-in of associated teams invested in the project and should deter individuals from opting out due to other conflicting interests. Third recommendation is to, above all, plan. There should be more effort put into the blueprints and full project plans. Because the Marina Bay Sands project was rushed, which resulted in less time to properly negotiate with other vendors and thus resulted in higher costs. They should also consider implementing a phase gate model. The fourth recommendation is to have higher focus on risk detection and project crashing. As some processes took longer than expected, having a detailed risk mitigation plan would also help keep their project on schedule. And the last recommendation is to use time carefully or it will use you. They should have contingencies for unexpected delays such as the loss of a partner and also consider revising the original schedule.